the rest of the grounds of the United Nations. You can see how wonderful it is. All the beautiful flags. This is another part of the United Nations, the entryway, where all the tourists come in and other people who don't want to go in the official way. You can see how wonderful it is. That's the delegates entrance. But this is also the delegates entrance here too. As you see, it's located at 45th, and 1st Avenue. Another view of the United Nations. This is the exit. So there's another entryway, but this is for people who want to go into the United Nations, but do it in a more secure way. You can see here the building rising in the background. Just beautiful to see it. It's a great chance for a lot of people to see diplomacy in action. That's why people love to visit the United Nations. That's why people love to be around here too. Because it's very, very nice to participate. And that's what happens a lot around here, participation. Another view of the United Nations. You can see everything a little bit more in the distance. Gives a little bit more perspective. That's why it's nice seeing this. Now, we're looking south on 1st Avenue. It's really great to see that. Here we're looking into the courtyard of the United Nations. You can see here, it's a beautiful area that they have. Just beautiful to see. And that's the building in the background. You can see that right there. With all the flags flying. And what happens is, once you're inside, you look across the river and you can see a beautiful view of Queens and also Roosevelt Island. You can see those buildings in the distance. That tall building in the distance is Long Island City. That's the location where the building is. And buildings are going up there like crazy because it's so convenient to build over there. And here is a much more clear view of the courtyard for the United Nations. That statue is St. George and the Dragon, and in the distance is Queens, Long Island City. The buildings have really gone up there. Everyone loves it there because it's so convenient to Manhattan. And then as we turn right, there's the United Nations in the park. You can see the United Nations in the distance there. Very convenient. And this park, even though it's a park near the United Nations, it's really not used that much. A lot of diplomats are very busy talking with other people, and they'd rather talk with other people rather than be in this beautiful courtyard. Another great view of the United Nations from the distance. How long it took to put everything together. How much patience it took of everyone to put it all together. It's really incredible when you see it. And when you realize how much benefit the United Nations does to everyone in New York and in the world. Take another look back. Now we're looking south. entryway to the United Nations. You can see here how beautiful it is. Now, this is the entryway that many of the diplomats use to get into the United Nations. And they use this because it's so close to everything that's going on in the United Nations. And this big building here, the General Secretariat, that's where you have all the offices. It's just beautiful being in there. And all the meeting rooms are more on the basement and the sub-basement. Just beautiful being in there. There's so much space. There you can see even more space. Another view of the United Nations right across the street from a park, so that the whole world can see. See the beautiful park also. Here we go. Beautiful park right there. Isn't that wonderful? And then right next to it is the entryway that all the diplomats use, right over there, to get into the United Nations. It's really a great organization.